In this episode of the Dixre podcast, I'll be having Salihat as a guest. Salihat is our team lead. She joined our company as an intern and she started learning how to program through our IT program early 2022. And within that period till now, we saw a lot of commitment in what she's doing and we had to bring her on board as a team member. And she has been doing a lot of great work in our team. Currently, she's a front-end developer and she has been doing an amazing work, especially on our client's project. In this episode, I and Salihat will be talking about some of her learning experience, like from the time she joined Dixre as an intern to the time we invited her to join our team, like as a full-time engineer. I believe a lot of people will learn from her, especially ladies who are interested in learning how to program. You'll get to discover some of the decisions that Salihat made and why today she's really proud of those decisions. I hope you learn a lot from her. So pay attention. If you have questions or thoughts, don't forget to comment on the comment section. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you are new here, subscribe. So Sally, hi, welcome to another episode of the Dixre podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really nice to have Sally on board on this episode because we've been talking about having something like this with her because there's quite an interesting story behind the time she came to Dixre for her industrial attachment and the time she joined us officially as one of our team members. There's a lot of interesting things about her that I really admire, and I believe a lot of people will learn from her story. And that's the reason why we decided to host this episode of the Dixre podcast. So, Sally, can you tell us a little bit about what inspired you to come to Dixre? Like, what were the decisions what were the options you had before you decided to come to Dixre for your IT? What was the experience like?
Okay, let me start first. The experience was awesome, amazing, and interesting. As in, I never thought I was going to be a tech person to even begin with. When I started my IT, I went to INEC office to I started with them actually. But later I noticed I wasn't learning anything. I was just writing and then doing things that wasn't fun to me. When a friend of mine now introduced me to Dixre, I was like, okay, is this the amount they pay? I was like, let me tell my parents that if they can afford that. So they were able to afford coming to Dixre. So when I came, I noticed the way what captured my attention was when we started building things on Chrome. I started designing things on Chrome. I was like, wow. So this is how they build things on Chrome. I was really interested. It was really interesting to me. I was really interested in how things were built. So from there, I was like, no, this is.
So you mentioned that you went to INEC. Basically, in INEC, you weren't paying for your IT.
No, I wasn't paying for my IT. It was free.
It was free,
yes.
But you chose to go to Dixre where you will pay.
Yeah,
because
I wanted to learn. I've wanted to learn tech since I entered Castle.
Mm-hmm.
When I chose the computer science, I see my colleagues. They were like, they are into programming and all that. Like, okay, I will try to do something similar for my IT. But when I went to an office, I was interested in coding. They said you don't code, they only write. So I just said no, this thing is not for me.
Wow.
It's not for me.
So how did your attachment experience at Dixre complement what you were learning in school? Was there any kind of correlation like that?
Not really, because school is just theory, no practical. And with the practical, they are not fun, they are not interesting. So it's but when I came here, I noticed the practical aspect of what we were taught in school, even though it was just basic. In school we were taught basic things, not really like the way we experience outside when you're like in an industrial something. So it was boring, and in short, I would tell you that I disliked the course I was studying because of the boredom. It was really boring, and I wasn't even interested in the course. So but when I came here, I now noticed that, okay, there's another part of computer science that I didn't even know till I came here, which has been really fun for me. I won't lie, it has been really fun and interesting.
So basically, right now you design websites officially for at Dixre. Like you've worked on some interesting projects, yes, which I love, and how would you say your IT complemented what you are doing today? Because basically someone can confidently call you a software engineer because that's the path you're pursuing.
Yes.
So how would you say your IT prepared you for the role of a software engineer?
From day one, and I didn't even know anything about web design, web development, anything that has to do with it. But when we're coming here and be able to build things online, it's when I sit in front of the system and I start building websites, I'm like, this is me. I find it really, because I take my time, use my creativity to build things and make designs and just sit, do other researches and try to bring out something from what I've learned so far from the company. So I think I would say the company has really helped my skills to develop a lot, because I never knew I was going to be this creative.
Yeah. And you know, why her skills got to the level where she is today that we had to bring her on board is because Sally has always been this kind of person that wants to learn and not just she doesn't just have the desire to learn, she's always willing to do more work. Let me put it that way.
Because curious, actually.
Yeah, when I get her to do stuff, she always gets the stuff done like fast, and she's always looking forward to the next thing. I think that's one of the unique things about you that I really admire.
Because when I do things and I'm done, I'm like, now I'm bored. Because I feel like I'm already bored. I want to do something else. Give me tasks. Let me do. So if I don't have tasks, I just get really bored. But coding makes it. I will tell you that coding is actually a fun part of my life.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really fun to me. People say it's hard or something, but me, I find it fun. But it's something I'm good with, something I really enjoy doing. Music in my ears and coding. Damn. It's fun.
So you went from joining Dixre like knowing nothing in tech to now being so passionate about writing programming. Wow.
It's really interesting. Fun. Fun. I keep saying the word fun because to me,
yes.
It's fun.
So if someone meets you now that is interested in doing IT, what would be the advice you give them?
They should just be I would say hardworking, because that's one of the important things, because not everybody can do that. Not everybody is willing to pursue their career or something. Some are just, but I'll just tell them to work hard and be passionate about what they're doing. Some people go into tech because of the money, which doesn't make sense. Because if you go because of money, then the time you won't even learn what you're supposed to learn.
Yeah.
So
I think you made a very, very important point here about people going to tech because of the money.
Yeah.
You know, like I've met a couple of people who want to learn how to program, and the first thing they start talking about is how much they think they will make.
Does it pay?
And and at the end of the day, they end up not even gaining the skills they need.
Which is
and if the skill is not there, nobody's going to pay you a dime.
They won't pay you because we don't know anything. Why will I pay you?
You don't have any value to offer.
You don't have any value to offer.
Yeah.
So why will I pay you?
But compare it with someone who came to learn how to program because they just love it. You know, they keep developing themselves
every day,
and they are still
consistency.
Yeah, consistency.
I'm passionate about the programming thing, so
I
think for them it will be easier to get a job. People someone that is pursuing tech because of the money. It's really easy for them,
that's really cool. Now, like, how will you see your IT complemented like what you are doing in school, like what you learned during your IT, like how does it balance with your schoolwork, like after your IT? How was it like for you?
It wasn't
what was
funny.
the experience like?
Okay, when I went back to school, I felt different, because I was like, me going back to school, I've already learned this part of computer science. So going back to school, I was like, I don't think I even want to go back to the school setting. Because I've already seen something that I'm really interested in, and something I'm passionate about, actually. So, but when I went back to school, I felt different among my colleagues, and at that time, like, Even the people that we did IT together, they are, are you still at Dixre? I was like, yes, I'm still at Dixre. So they were surprised and shocked that I was still able to still keep my my position or staying at the company. So, but going school, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun.
But how have you been able to balance school and work? Because work can be hectic, school can be hectic at the same time. Like, how do you get to balance the two?
I had to prioritize. Which one do I want to do first? Because I went to school because of what? To get a job. So I've gotten the job. Should I stay put? Yes, I'll stay put because of the grades and then the less certificates. But I've gotten a job. So even at this point, I had to weigh between going to school and working.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt that I think I had to choose which one was more important. I felt working was more important to me than going to school. I was still able to keep my grades here and all that. So when exams close by, I read and prepare for exams. But I felt school as a, not like, sorry to say, but a waste of time. Yes, because it's actually, they don't teach you the theory part, they don't teach you the practical aspect, they don't give you what you experience after school. Because I'll be like, after school, what next? As I didn't have the job, and I'll be like, after school, then I'll sit at home with my parents and looking for a job to beg people to employ me and all that. But with my skills, I know I can work anywhere. Yeah. So I had to weigh between going to school and then job. You've been
able to manage to like maintain very good grades in school. Like, how do you do that?
No, God. Actually, I would say it has been God, because I can't say this is how I've been able to keep up with the grades. I just try to work hard. That's the most important thing. Work hard, try to balance both between school and then work.
Do you think any student can replicate this, like anywhere, irrespective of...
It depends on their mindsets. If they are determined to try to balance both ways, I think it depends on their mindsets. I had to put my mindset up, like, I just have to get the grades and then work. So I had to, I just have to depend on your mindset. If you're determined to do something, you have to do it. There's no way, nothing will stop you.
So there's no excuse.
No excuse. There's no excuse.
So, like, looking back at like how far you've gone, some of the challenges you've been, because I know definitely you had some challenges you had to overcome, and the ups and downs, and you're still where you are today. If you could do it over again, would you still make the same decisions?
Yes. Yes, okay. I will.
Why?
It's just like I said before. Let me repeat it again. It's been fun. It's because trying to studying and then working at the same time. I feel like I'm a big person already, so it's
a busy person. Yeah.
So I love being busy actually. So it's, I think just if I'm to go back in time and try to do the same thing again, I will do it. Wow.
So if somebody is following your footsteps, like, Sally, I want to follow your footsteps, like, what will you tell the person?
Follow. It will be a tough one, but it will be a tough one, but you just have to, if you are determined, like I said before, if you are determined, nothing will stop you. Nothing can stop you.
But while you were learning how to program, were there times where you felt like this is too difficult?
Yes, so there are times that I'll be like, are you sure this is for me? But if I now look back where I've been coming from, like, yes, it is for me. I will keep pushing and pushing. Because there are times that when you sit and try to develop something, like, there are times you get bugs and like, try to fix for like 2 days, 3 days, and it gives you a headache, and you be like, what is happening? Just to look back and say just one small error that you've made from your end, and then be like, yeah, it's actually difficult at some point. But if I see that with every step, every day, I keep pushing and I keep getting my errors and I keep correcting my mistakes and all that, then I'm like, yes, it's for me. So I keep pushing and pushing. I know the errors will keep coming and then the mistakes will keep coming back, but you learn from mistakes. So
what was your experience learning? Like, while you were learning how to program, like, let's say, was it just about what you did during your IT, or after your IT, the learning didn't stop? What was it like for you?
After my IT learning and stuff, I'm just someone that's, like I said, I'm just a curious person, so I want to keep learning more. I want to keep developing my skills, keep getting skills, and keep learning new things every day.
So you're just taking more
Just taking more
courses,
courses,
reading
and then
books.
reading books, watching videos, and all that, and then maybe trying to just keep practicing. Practice
Wow.
each day, every day. Keep practicing to develop my skills. Watch other people's videos. Learn from mentors like you and then Solomon. So that's really
So basically, let's say consistency brought you
brought
where
me
you
to where
are
I am
today.
today. I'm
Nice.
constant about my work, and I just want to learn. I want to learn. I'm just someone that's curious about learning new things actually.
Interesting. So, like, have you met ladies around you who are doing the same thing with you, or you feel like you are alone in this?
I think I'm alone in this. Even back in school, it's only few people. Okay, there's only one lady she's not really in. I don't know if I say she's really into tech, like the way people know I'm into tech. But like as if I'm the only lady in my department that they know is into serious tech.
Wow.
Well, I don't know about the rest, but for my end, from what I've heard from other classmates so far, I think there may be some other people too that are into.
You know, the reason why I ask this is because a lot of people feel like they have more drive to pursue their goals or their passion when there are other people around them who are doing the same thing, compared to if you are alone and you just have to go alone. Like, you don't have other ladies, other friends around you who are doing the same thing.
I've been an introvert, so it's not a big deal for me.
So you motivate yourself, basically.
Yes, I motivate myself, and my parents motivate me. They tell me to keep going, keep pushing. They are always supportive of what I do. By the time I'm into tech, there was no why are you into tech. There was no question. They just go ahead. So my parents have been there actually. And then seeing people like you, and then I got inspired too with you and Solomon, the way you guys have moved up, and I was really inspired by you guys and motivated. So I had to be like, I just have to keep pushing no matter what.
You know, going back to when you were doing IT at Dixre, I recall like the first few times you approached me with your work. Yeah, you came to me the first time, you were like, I'm working on this, blah, 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 blah. I was like, wow, nice. The next time you came again, showed me what you were doing. Like, have you already decided that time that, look, this is what I want to do, and this guy is going to be someone I could learn a lot from, so maybe I should just keep showing him what I'm doing and see how it goes?
Initially, I didn't really, I haven't made that decision yet, but it got to a stage that I was like, I'm learning this thing, and this thing is really interesting to me. When what first came in, I enjoyed it, so I said, let me just give it a shot. And you are someone that you are a principled person, so I feel I can learn a lot from you and Solomon. Even though initially it was you first before Solomon came into the picture, so I felt I could learn a lot from you. So from the moment I started learning WordPress and started doing things and designing stuff like that, so I said, let me give it a shot and let's see how it goes.
Nice. Well, what has been your biggest distractions? Have you had distractions like over time?
School. I can't wait to finish.
Wow.
Because it's distracting me from going further than the way. I don't like the way where I am presently.
Wow.
But I want to move further. I want to learn more. And school is distracting me a lot. So when I'm done with school, I'll be able to catch up faster than the way I am.
So you feel like there is more to what you're doing
doing now
than you would do if you were if you had more time.
If I had more time.
Wow.
So I have to finish school.
Wow.
I have to finish.
Can I say that you're very, very ambitious?
You can say that. Maybe I am.
Nice.
Maybe I am. It's just from the background I grew up from. So my parents have been. I just want to make them happy. That's
wow.
what has been my goal. I want to make them happy. I want them to be proud of me. So and my siblings following my footsteps. You know, that kind of thing. That as the firstborn, you have to.
You're the eldest.
I'm the eldest in the family. So it's not easy actually. Well,
nice.
With God's grace, and we are pushing through.
So, like, we're about rounding up anyway. So, like, if someone wants to learn how to program, let's just start with ladies basically. If a lady out there maybe watching this podcast and she's like, wow, if this lady can do it, I should be able to do it. What will you advise them to start with? Like, what should they learn first? What should they what should they start with?
First, they should just learn the basics of computer science. Then from there, they can learn maybe if not just do it let's say for web design for example, you have to be creative, you have to know some kind of art and all that. I don't really know anything about art and but I felt I'm someone that likes to design things and all, so I can say they should just start with the basics first, then from basics and now start moving step by they don't rush in programming.
So are you suggesting, you mentioned some background in computer science, do they need a degree in computer science?
You don't really need a degree in computer science, just learn the basics and that's all, and then you are good to go.
Nice.
You don't need a degree in computer science. I'm yet to get my degree before I start now, so why should you need a degree to start in computer science? You don't need a degree to start computer science, so you don't need a degree to start programming to start a tech journey.
So you just need to know the basics of computer science, then what next?
Maybe code how to let's have the basics of all coding, HTML and CSS and all. So from there, just don't rush your learning process. Just have to take it step by step. When you feel you are good to go with another thing, then go ahead and continue learning and all. So it's basically just don't rush and work hard, consistency to masters.
And a lot of another thing I needed to bring up is a lot of people, when they start learning how to program, they are just desperate to be good. You understand? Like, some people think after like 2 weeks, 1 month, they should be good enough to start looking for a job.
You have to be very patient, because there are times that you be learning one particular thing for like months and months, and be like, I'm yet to understand this thing. What's happening? You don't rush.
Yeah.
You have to be patient. It takes a lot of patience to learn how to code and all.
So patience is the key thing. Yeah. And then you should know that once you have the mindset to learn, you can do it. You just need to be consistent. That's the most important thing.
I'm passionate about what you're doing.
I'm passionate about
it. It's a waste.
And I think it's applicable to any skill.
Yes.
Yeah. Whatever you want to learn, as long as you're passionate about that thing and you're consistent, you definitely be good at it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So thanks for sharing your thoughts and your ideas in this episode. I hope a lot of people will learn from Sally, because she inspires me a lot. When I look at how consistent she has been since the time she came to Dixre for IT, I mean, she was so consistent that we had to tell her, look, you're not going anywhere. You have to be part of our team. I really look forward to seeing people learn a lot from her, or at least get some inspiration from her and kind of pursue their dreams. And at the end of the day, you just you never have regrets.
Yes.
Yeah, you will not have regrets. Yeah, thank you for being part of this episode.
You're welcome.
See you guys on the next episode. And that concludes the end of another episode of the Dixre podcast. I hope you've learned a lot. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section, like the video, and most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. See you on the next episode.